Welcome, everybody, to Why We Love Food. What would you consider the most influential cookery format and why?
I think there's a difference between formats and people that teach us how to cook and formats that we might watch for entertainment. And one of the brilliant things about food is there are so many different reasons why you might watch a food programme. But for me, I have picked Delia because for decades she just really influenced, my generation, my parents' generation.
She's the queen.
And we've still got, and I think she's going to influence the next generation as well, because her books are just kind of classics.
I'm going to talk about Bake Off because there's a reason I think it has gone on so long. There's a reason why it came to Channel 4 post BBC, and that is it's a format that really works. But more than that, it's an atmosphere. If you actually think about it, it seems a bit weird that you're going to cook in a tent, but it's sort of evocative of every celebration that you've ever had. And those bakers it's sort of a reality show without reality show. It's quiet drama. It's a look here, it's a look there.
Does food programming set the agenda or reflect it, would you say?
Oh God,
big question.
Big
How have I got this one? I think it's a little bit of both. I always enjoy TV where I'm learning something new. Anything that is actually showing me something that I'm not going to see in a supermarket. I'm not vegan or vegetarian, but I'm always interested in understanding what I can cook for my friends. And I always love asking my butcher or fishmonger what they're having for dinner. Yeah. I think that's, has that ever been a show? Can we do that? I mean, they know their produce best, and they know how to get the most out of it. So I think we'll be seeing a lot more of that. I hope we will anyway, but how to get more. And I think any show that's got any thrifty tips. What's the one called with Chris Babb and cooking?
Eat Well for Less.
Eat Well for Less. I think that's a great show.
In restaurant culture, again, is restaurant culture being driven by TV or is it the other way around? Do you look to what's happening on TV when you're expanding your empire?
We are constantly inundated with ideas about food and the way that we should eat and the way that we should treat our bodies and how sacrosanct all of that is. I don't think you could possibly commission programmes at the speed that we as consumers on the street evolve in terms of our food. So I think what TV does is then produce something that provides a comfortable place for us as those middle-class food intelligentsia to come and sit and unwind and think this is a safe and noble place for me. I don't see the relationship at all between TV and restaurants, and I tell you, I think that's quite a nice clinical division.
What can television learn from social media to keep television current?
I get a lot of recipes online, but it doesn't stop me buying the books and it doesn't stop me watching the television programmes because there's so much pleasure from just having a cookery book or from watching the programme. And I watch a lot of those. I love those sort of sped up, little tasty things that are constantly on my sort of various social media feeds. And I love them, but it doesn't, it's in addition to my love of watching programmes and buying the books.
It's very much lifestyle, isn't it?
People still want to go to that ancient way of doing things, which is almost like an apothecary, this alchemy of turning a page and you see a picture of something and you cook it. There is something ancient about the way that we want to learn to cook, and that comes from books and it comes from intimacy.
Why are we so obsessed with cookery shows when we're cooking less than ever?
It brings people together, right? It's collaborative, it's creative, it brings cultures together. It looks delicious. It's a safe, and like all of the examples, they're all quite warm and positive things, aren't they? And I think they're just quite an easy thing to escape into.
Good cookery programmes look very easy to make. And I've come across a lot of people recently who aren't used to making food programmes, who have sort of gone, how hard can it be? And then sort of got to their edit and gone, oh, we sort of forgot to film the food. They sort of forget that the food is the kind of hero of the show. And actually, a good cookery programme looks easy, but there's a lot of thought that goes into how to create something that people want to watch.
Where do we go from here? Cookery formats are, as we said, topping the charts.
It's always about how you innovate. We're going to do something about Jamie, 20 years on this year. He's going to do a new vegetarian series because everyone's wanting to go meat-free. So I feel like you have experts that are doing that, but I still feel like there's room for this new generation of Instagramming kind of food shows. So I feel, I think it's just always about what's the original idea that will cut through.
Then every so often there is the next Jamie or there is the next person that does really capture the nation's imagination because they feel really passionately about an issue that is, feels of the moment, or just because they're really extraordinary in terms of their character. There's just something, so you never stop looking for that person. So I'm just going to carry on trying to find the next Jamie, and when I've done that, I'll retire.
Just to say, obviously, thank you to the panel for your brilliant insight and your time. And yes, thank you all for attending.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.